Hi, welcome back to Tarot Tuesday. I'm Michael. I still don't know how to make eye contact with the camera, but I've at least controlled the lighting situation so I don't look like I'm in a morgue. Which is funny, because this week we're looking at the High Priestess and Death. I was nearly going to call this one Death and the Maiden, but it was too on the nose. Now, the main thing I'm looking at with these two, and it's a relationship I'm noticing as this continues, is as a yes or no reading in this particular deck, they are inverses of each other. So the Fool is a yes, the Magician is a yes, the High Priestess is a no. Justice is a no. The Hanged Man is a no. Death is a yes. So the pattern of reversal into parallelism continues each and every pairing. And I find that particularly interesting as we approach the High Priestess and Death. Starting with the High Priestess, it is a card of no, stop. Think about what you're doing. Take a moment, breathe. But more than just a moment, it's about looking at the inner self as a deliberate, reflective practice. The High Priestess asks that you look and reflect on your experiences, on your spiritual journey. It's almost like a pausing and a review. It's not the same pausing as the Hanged Man, where it is, in my view, more circumstantial. It's the world telling you you're not ready to move forward. With the High Priestess, it's take a moment, look inside, and make sure you are ready to move forward. Which, when reversed, creates a look inside and recognize that you are ready to move forward. You know, there are some schools of thought where a card reversed indicates that you go back to the lessons of the previous card, which in this case is the Magician. And the Magician is a card of readiness. So the High Priestess reversed looks at the Magician and invites a reflection on the tools in your arsenal, in your experience, in the arrows in your quiver. Look at them and recognize that you are prepared for the next stage of the journey. Whereas Death is a card of change, as so many are. In this case, Death is a slow change. It's not a boil over, it's a simmer. You have reached a point where you are the frog in the proverbial pot. The temperature has risen slowly around you, and you cannot go back to the cool water that was. Reversed, you are trying to go back, or you are not allowing yourself to move forward. But either way, it's a card of resisting change. In which case you return to the lesson of the Hanged Man, where on the road to where you are going, you have to recognize that you are marching forward regardless. Now, where I find these two interesting is with the High Priestess upright and Death reversed. They are both cards of pausing. They're cards of reflection. They invite a re-examination of where you have been. The only difference being with the High Priestess is recognizing what you carry with you. With Death, it's recognizing what you leave behind. The same is true of the opposite reversal. You have the High Priestess inviting you to look back and take the tools that you have that have given you the possibilities to move forward, and death is that invitation to actively do so. So, the other thing I'm noticing with these is with the Fool, the Magician, and the High Priestess, they're very small. I don't mean that as anything negative or derogatory, but they are small. They are... In literature, you have the two conflicting levels of point of view. The limited and the omniscient. The limited is the character that is being followed, whether it's first person or third person limited. You only ever experience the story from their perspective. You are unaware of the happenings outside of them. Whereas in the omniscient, you are aware of everything. You know what is happening in this part of the story, in one location. You then swing over to another part of the story in another location. If you ever read the Animorphs books as a kid, it's the difference between the regular books and the Megamorphs. And it's probably the first time in my life I'd ever actually seen first-person omniscient, which is rare. We need more of those. Anyway, the difference is the primary books are told from the first-person limited. You are following a singular character through their part of the story. And the Megamorphs are each chapter in first-person limited, but you get the different perspectives from each of the different characters. So even in scenes where they're interacting with each other, you get both sides of the story. And I am noticing that between the low and high major arcana. The low is the limited perspective. It is from the singular point of view of an individual. It is the fool's leap of faith. It is the magician's tools. It is the high priestess asking you to look inward. Whereas the high major are the omniscient. It's both scales of justice. It is the inverted perspective invited by the hanged man. It's a different point of view. It is death as an agent of change across all people, across all lives. So not only are we looking at them as pairs, we're starting to build two parallel journeys. It's drawing a circle from opposite points of a diameter at the same time. And recognizing this, I'm very curious to see what happens next week with the Empress and Temperance. So, in the meantime, thank you for your time, and if you have any questions or comments, I'm open to feedback at all points. Sorry, I've been up since like 3 in the morning. I don't know how to end this, so I'm just going to say thank you and have a good day.